Live on YouTube and we're live on Twitch. Let's go. All right. So today I'm going to be going over something that I learned from the professor that I worked with. I've heard about model context protocols. I'm pretty sure that's what the acronym stands for. But yeah, I've been hearing a lot about the model context protocols being used for AI agents and how they kind of work as like a USB port sort of thing so that an agent understands how to interact with the server, from what I understand. That's basically my knowledge of MCPs so far. So my professor sent me a link to an article, and it gave me a couple of MCP tools to try out that apparently like 10x your coding, 10x your already whatever x vibe coding. So yeah, I figured that I would give that a try today. Or I already tried a couple of prompts on the project that I was working on last night, but sorry, I I want to do a little bit more on this project and see if I can't make it a little bit more polished. Even though it's working right now, I just I want to see if I can make it even a little bit better. Also, I haven't tested it to see if the Shark Tank system actually like will generate an offer for the player. Um, yeah, I mean it has a conversation with the player for sure, but I haven't actually gotten to the point where the investors would want to give me an offer. Ironically, um, and I just didn't feel like going through a conversation with the AIs offline. Plan on doing that live tonight. Um, I would have shown how to set up the MCPs. I would have done that live, but I figured that wouldn't be very wise, mostly because they have API keys that, or most of them have API keys that I used. Um, so I think the three MCP tools that I'm using were um, sequential thinking, Brave Search, and the OpenAI router, or the OpenAI assistant. Um, so Brave Search allows you to search the internet. Sequential thinking is like a different way to get your agent to think. And I'm pretty sure the OpenAI assistant enables auto mode to be more effective, from what I'm sure, from what I read. But I should read up on that. So I just asked ChatGPT. So what does MC So I asked ChatGPT, what does the MCP Simple AI Open Assistant do? It's a layer-wide bridge between OpenAI's Assistant APIs and any MCP-compatible client like Cursor, Claude Desktop, or any other custom tools that speak with the Model Context Protocol. It wraps up the OpenAI. Okay, I got some problems with grad school stuff. Again, gotta take care of that. It wraps the OpenAI Assistant experience, including function calling, threads, tools, and exposes it in an interactive tool that any NCP client can use, like you're chatting with an assistant that can do things. Um, so what it actually does, sorry, I gotta read that last part. I kind of read that on autopilot. What it actually does, authenticates your API key, defines a set of tools, it creates a system like this, create a system, list assistant, start thread, start. Okay, so why that package is useful, or that MCP is useful, is because you don't have to write code to call the Assistance API directly. It enables tools like file searching, running functions, and custom agents, and it works out of the box with Cursor, Claude, Desktop, and any other app that understands MCP. Let's build you a multi-turn tool. Okay, that's just an extra thing that it told me. All right. Let's go back to cursor. All right. So since adding the MCP, I've asked it to do two things. First, I asked it to make the figures that were the investors look more human. If you watched the end of my live stream last night, the little AI figures, they didn't look human at all. They actually look pretty strange, kind of uncanny. So I asked it to update that. They still look, oh, well, no, they look uncanny now. They actually looked blank beforehand. Now they actually look uncanny and I'm worried potentially racist. So uh, I'll show you what I mean later. Um, yeah, so I asked the agent to make the figures look more realistic. Didn't do any MCP tool calls, I don't think. Yeah, it didn't do it then. But then I said, can you search the internet for the behaviors of the lead investors of the American version of Shark Tank? Once you have completed this task, update the prompts provided to the Gemini models that control their behavior. And this time it actually did call the MCP tool. Let me see. Shark Tank person, yeah, investors' personalities, Kevin O'Leary. Oh my God, yeah. So, Shark Tank users. Okay, this was the search that it actually ran. Um, Basically, just getting the personalities of the different. Oh, so it actually goes over how they made their fortunes, and it even talks about the internet search results that they got. This is very cool. So, this basically was done so that I could get the agent to, or the agents that are being used in the app to act more like the Shark Tank people. I don't watch the show, so I didn't feel like looking at writing it myself. Um, did a bunch of MCP tool calls, and yeah, you can see that it replaced the prompt after that, just like it would before, and then it made like pseudo Shark Tank people for to sit on the board of the investors. So yeah, that's what that did. I'm trying to think of another good MCP tool call question. But first, let me see how far I can get on how on the current version of the application. So I want to see how far I can get in an investor's pitch. In case you didn't watch the stream last night, which I highly doubt anybody that views this did, other than maybe two people, um, I made a game that it's like a Shark Tank simulator. So I think it's up right now. Let me make sure. Yeah, okay. So this is a game, the Venture Capitalist Pitch Simulator. You basically go through like a virtual Shark Tank board, and you try to pitch your idea to these AIs, and they give you feedback, and they might give you an offer if you do well enough. Let me move my little guy on the screen. Cool. So yeah, this is the venture capitalist guys. They're all made based off of the Shark Tank people, like I showed you in the chat, the MCP. Yeah, I'm changing my Twitch chat description even though nobody's going. Vibecoding is. I'm gonna change my little Twitch thing real quick. Move the screen over. Oh, all right. So these are the venture capitalists. I zoom out so that there we go. So these are the venture capitalists. Each of them based off of one of the Shark Tank investors. As you can tell, they look a little uncanny right now. This was after the model context protocols were added, so their heads look they kind of like Canadian South Park characters, for my opinion. But um, these eyes, a little worrisome. Um, uh, so now they have faces, unlike last night, and I'm gonna actually try to work through one of these pitches to see if I can actually get the models to respond or say anything. So, all right, let's think of a pitch that is realistic. So I can kind of like it asks some pretty tough questions. I actually got kind of roasted by it earlier today, especially the other one that acted like Kevin O'Leary. It was like, what is my cut? Let me see. Yes, thank you, VV. Added faces for sure to make them look better. But that, yeah, and they also like still throb and everything, or pulsate, or however you want to say that word. Um, and I'm just trying to think of a good, realistic pitch. Because they ask some hard questions, and I don't want to get blindsided and live streamed by these AIs, but I probably will regardless. Uh, I am making uh, all the users. Okay, sorry. Okay. Um, so I don't know if you can see that text clearly. I doubt it because it's very small. I said I'm making a application that allows for automatic content generation enabled through a multi-agent system. All the users have to do is either enter their topic and they will receive a custom article tailored to their LinkedIn profile. So that is basically the multi-agent system idea that I made a video on, the one long form video that I have on my channel other than the live. And I just picked that because I'll be able to kind of know where I would go with this pitch. So let me see. So what are your customer acquisition costs? How do they compare to the predicted lifetime value of the customer? Give me hard numbers, not fluff. Oh boy. I don't know what the answer to that is. Uh, so what are the custom acquisition costs and how do they compare to the predicted lifetime value? I don't know what that means particularly. It's just a business word, so it's just some fancy padding for some simple concept. Oh, the total amount that a business spends to acquire a new customer, including sales, calculated total. Okay. I'm just gonna say we'll only use online LinkedIn advertising. Only use online LinkedIn advertising, so however much that costs. Oh, does this button not work? Oh, a minute. Okay, I guess it just is yawn. AI already, but you got my attention slightly. This is another one of the investors. My question is, how are you ensuring that there isn't just another generic content mill churning out the same regurgitated garbage everyone else is already ignoring on LinkedIn? What's your secret sauce that makes it actually compelling, and not just an AI-powered noise machine? Because if it's not more, I'm out. Oh my God, this is awesome. I'm very entertained with myself. Because it's more the same amount. That's so funny. Okay, yeah, that's a good idea. Well, it's Gemini asking Gemini. Uh, it would be Gemini versus Gemini itself, but I guess I could try that. Yeah. Um, nope, wrong stuff. Sorry. I think it's Joe. Just doing some extra screen stuff. Okay. Um, let me see what the question was again. What makes it different? What's the secret sauce? Ba, ba, ba. Yeah, I'll just copy and paste. I'm not gonna think through this. I gotta do it quick to keep this entertaining as possible. All right. So basically, I just copied and pasted what uh, one of the venture capitalists outputted. Said respond to this question about a LinkedIn article generator, and we'll see what it says. Now it's Gemini versus Gemini, like Vivi recommended. Thank you. That's actually an interesting idea. So, oh no, I'm using Gemini 2.5, so it gave me a long ass answer. I don't know how long of an input the thing can take. I'm just gonna copy Sorry. Gotta set some stuff up. So, did I copy and paste it already? Yeah. I should limit the length of the response. I guess I could just. Okay. I'm just gonna write it out real quick. Unlike other content generation. Okay. Unlike other content generation bots, I will search the internet. Also goes through a review cycle to make sure that the articles are well written. Submit answer. All right, now we're on the third investor. Sounds interesting. I love seeing people tackle content creation, but tell me, with all the focus on AI and automation, how are you ensuring that generated content is actually unique and, more importantly, doesn't trigger any LinkedIn's anti-spam or duplicate content filters, especially at scale? These are all very interesting questions about this product. I didn't expect this, but it's actually pretty cool. I didn't want to. I didn't plan on moving forward with this LinkedIn multi-agent system. This is just kind of a meme for me. But yeah. Um, I want to share this somehow already, because I find these answers to be hilarious. Actually, I said we'll get a filter that'll scan through existing LinkedIn content. Now, all right. Hold your horses, Professor. Multi-agent AI system sounds like a whole lot of jargon to me. Like I'm in my first million selling tiny apartments, not deciphering computer code. So tell me something. Do you have to work your tail off to get where you are? Jerton Monk, because frankly, I invest in hustle, not algorithms. Jesus Christ, dude! I feel getting roasted by these things. So tell me something. Did you have to work your tail off to get here? I'll be honest, a little bit of both, sir. No, it's a girl. A little bit of both, ma'am, but I've taken blah blah blah. These are just quick answers. I just want to get through all these bots and see what the offers look like, if it even makes offers. Okay, that's interesting. Listen, honey, my solving problems we know people have. It's the actual out of pocket. All right, so it said, okay, that's interesting, honey. Listen, the world is, but listen, honey, in my world, it's about solving a problem people know they have. So tell me, what's the actual out-of-pocket cost to me to acquire one paying user, and how do I get my return on that investment back so quickly? People, and I'm saying, people are extremely lazy, and LinkedIn is full of trash. Um, People want to be famous for very little effort. I'm gonna get so rejected. I can't wait. I just want to see what it looks like. Um, there's a professor at Northeastern that's actually working on relational agents. I think you might find this idea kind of cool. I should email him about this. Be like, hey, look at this idea. You can have it for money. No, this is my idea. Have evidence in the live stream. Um, people are extremely full of trash. Other kinds of Oh my god, they all gave me offers. Oh no, not everyone. That's funny. No invest. Key application for content you need. That's awesome. No invest. You are spending money to make money. That's gambling, not business. Uh, so no investment from the one that's on Kevin O'Leary. Does it let you accept? Yeah, it does let me accept the ones that say no invest. I'm gonna see what happens when it says, oh no, invest two at the same time. You mean? I don't know. I don't think you can do that. That's actually one of the future goals that was talked about last night, is to try and implement it so that the investors can like work together. They can like, change their minds and be like, I actually want to like invest with you and blah blah blah. So that's part of the future plans if this ever goes anywhere. Might just be something I play with on stream. Um, you're telling me he's no invest lax. I got one investment offer, so okay, that's kind of cool. Trying to prove something and that I can invest in. Let's see what happens when I accept the offer. Congratulations, you accept Dr. Evelyn Reed's offer, 50,000 at 20,000. Yay! Ideally, you should not be so. Sorry, I think there was a typo in that one. Yeah. 50,000 at 20% is a pretty bad offer, though. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's a pretty bad offer. It's a really bad offer. I mean, my pitch wasn't good. That's funny. All right. So we know that it works. There's a couple of bugs, like there shouldn't be buttons um, for offers that aren't acceptable. Yeah. Let me just make a couple of quick changes, I suppose. This was supposed to be about testing out MCPs. How long have I been on stream? 32 minutes. 30 about, yeah. Not as many bugs as I expected, so it's not. Let me check the future considerations and see what Cursor thought that we could add to it. The voice and output and input web speech API. More complex negotiations, multi-term deals, investing schedules, persistence, saving game state, different difficulty levels, adjusting skeptic offer generosity, more venture capital archetypes, or industry specializations. All right. Okay, let's try. Let's go back to Cursor and try and make it so that the user can select an industry that they can talk to. They can select an industry for each investor. I think that would be kind of cool. We'll try and work through some of these updates one by one. Okay. I'm using 3.7 in this chat. I'm going to actually start a new conversation just because that last conversation, it did its job. I'm going to leave that one to rest, and I just want to make a couple of updates. No, actually, adding a start menu. Nah, I'm not gonna add a start menu. I'm just gonna try and make it. I'll let it decide if it wants to add a start menu, I guess. So I'd like to make it a menu to start the simulated player. Choose an industry and investor archetype. All right. So this is the prompt so far. I said I would like to make it so at the start of the investment simulator, this the player is able to choose the inventory, the investor, crap, the investors, uh, industry specialization, and investor archetype for each venture capitalist. Right, let's see if it makes any MCP calls. I don't think it will, but I don't know how to get it to use the sequential thinking tool. Um, that'd be very exciting to check out today for me. All right, so this is the page that he sent me to. He's talking about MCP cursors. This is the article that I was on before. Or at least I think it thought it was. Yeah, so this is the guide to the MCPs, model context protocols. It's basically like a plug-in tool for your agent, um, or it helps your agent understand the context of servers that it works with so that it can work with different APIs. I don't know the proper explanation for it without messing it up or sounding like an idiot, so I'm not going to attempt it. Um, yeah, you can step-by-step integration, embrace sequential thinking, searching information, decompose text, spreadsheet functions, and water manipulable sections. All right, kind of want to rebuild this simulation to be honest, but especially because now I have all these tools that it only made 3 different files for each subtask. Let's step by step first. All right, let's copy this sequential seeking, that sequential thinking part in, and see if we can get it to do some sequential thinking after it's done doing whatever I asked to do a minute ago. I'm actually gonna restore the checkpoint. So the cool thing about cursor is that you can restore the checkpoint of the AI's work. Um, So what I did is I basically took that prompt that I had before and I copied and pasted it into the sequential thinking like backbone prompt that they had a little bit ago, or that they had from that website I was on. Just making sure I'm on the right screen. Okay, you're gonna execute any of that? Okay. There's Let me go back to this. Okay. Sometimes let's be typically, I do address more than one problem in one prompt, but I think it'll be easier if I just go one by one. Once you've completed your thinking. All right, let's see. Did it just give me a fucking output again? God damn it! Why didn't you run? Maybe now it's doing it. Oh, God. Just waiting for this to run. Just thinking if I should go get coffee or something. Probably not. Still going. Yeah, so this can take a while, depending on how complex the task is. Um, During the downtime, this is why there's stuff to do while you're vibe coding. I can't just solely focus on this. You gotta wait for other things to happen. I don't know how much I really want to update tonight. I wonder how hard it would be to integrate the web speech AI API into this. Um, I mean, I'm not gonna be the one doing it. I guess I could just ask Cursor to do it, but yeah, really want to see if I can do an agent SDK project on this. I think I might save that for another stream, though. Especially with Python or something. I don't know if you can build web apps with Python. I'm gonna Google that real quick. You should be able to. You can do almost anything with Python. Oh yeah, Flask and Django. You can even build full stack application with Python where you use Python for the backend parts and parts that form the injection Hmm, this is a cool project. Don't get me wrong. I'm interested in seeing what the agent SDK can do more. So Cursor finished doing its thing. I just blindly accepted because that's part of the vibe coding thing. Um, Live server. Start your pitch. Oh shit! It worked. So now it has all these little things that you can pick. You can pick what they're invested in, and then after that, it'll let you continue your pitch. So, oh, sorry, I'm not showing that right now on the screen. So yeah, this is the new box. After I press the start button, it has all these boxes, so I can select the industry that each one of them's in. Numbers guru, operator, skeptic, connector. Oh my god, that's awesome. So, oh man. Um, Trying to figure out how I could upload this to GitHub. I can't. I can't safely right now, at least. The API key's in the directory. Oh, just add the git ignore to it. But then that prevent it from being uploaded to GitHub, but then people would have to enter their own API key to play. Yeah, that could work. Um, okay. I mean, I don't know how to proceed with this. I actually really like this idea, to be honest. Um, I feel like I might use it to hammer out my ideas and stuff. I mean, there's only so much that they would know if to be realistic. I mean, if it had like some tools equipped to really like grind its understanding. I'm sure that'd be kind of neat. Let's see what other updates they that for sure had in mind, or that the AIs had in mind. Hmm. I'm gonna figure out how to publish this somehow. I like to make money off of it just so that people can try it for a portfolio thing. I think. Yeah. Um, I guess that could be kind of an interesting thing to do. I could make a page so that people have to enter their own API key before playing. Yeah. Well, that kind of defeats the logic of hmm, whole API key import thing. Hmm. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna change it so that the player would have to enter their API key and they can play. Now that makes it so inaccessible, then people can't even try it out as they need their own API key. God damn it. The accessibility of these games is a difficult thing in all these applications because trying to show off stuff, and if the API keys don't connect, then it's like, I guess I could, I am gonna film a demo video of this, but I don't want to do that live. At this point, I'm just talking out loud. I'm not even doing any vibe coding other than just kind of reviewing and thinking about this. Yeah. Uh, let me see. I'm just gonna make. I'm not gonna try and do this. I might make a portfolio project on this in a demo video, but I am not gonna do this right now. Yeah, no. But I am gonna try something different. I'm gonna try something new. I'm gonna try use Pi script. What I would like to do is I would like to build, like I was trying to say last night, a simulation where like people move around and stuff, kind of like in a virtual world where things move around. I'm not trying to do the Black Mirror thing that I just saw. That was a little trippy because that was something I was thinking about, but I'm sure I'm not the first person that thought about having kind of a sort of Sims like scenario. Um, hmm, yeah, just making a new file in my directory right now. And there's the agent inside. I want to see how good this is. Now that it's connected, now that I have this MCP connected to my cursor, I can actually connect to the internet through my IDE, or the agent can connect to the internet, so I can get recent information from what I am assuming, and that would be cool because then it could learn from recent stuff. I'm just still trying to find the right thing. Sorry, I feel this is so boring. uh, it'd be better if I had people like pitching ideas and stuff that I could be like, yeah, let's try that. And then right now it's just me narrating my thought process, and I guess that's useful for me. Right. All right. So this is some idea. I'm gonna try to see if I can get Claude and the agent with the MCP tools that I have to be able to I have to add those tools back. I do. Fuck. All right. Still learning. Okay. Um, how do I get it to do research? Let's read up on that. And docs. I can add this is another thing you can do with cursors. You can add documents to the context up here. So I'm gonna add a doc that just is the Android SDK page. Oh, not Android, Google. I wonder how long I've been saying that. So I can actually add the URL. Fuck. You can add the URL that has the doc reference documents to the agent. That screen's a while back. I don't even know how to describe the simulation that I want to build in words. Um, All right. I have a thought. It'd be like no, be like a world, just an empty world where you can just spawn in different LLM agents. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Let's see. I gotta get a spec prompt for this. I'm gonna go through a little bit of the same process that I went through last night. I won't fully narrate it as much. Guess I'll get. I should make a dedicated training to ChatGPT. No problem, BB. Don't worry about it. I really like. I'm totally figuring this out. Please generate a spec script. All right, so I'm gonna try and make something that I've actually wanted to make for a while. Kind of just came back to me, but like a simulated research lab, like a tiny little research lab that exists in a simulated world where they could just work for you. I tried to do something similar with the Tiny Troop module in Python, but it didn't work well. So I'm gonna give it another go. Generate a spec for any is to be able to populate the lab with tools. Give me that classic Ruby UI. That's what I'm looking for. God damn it. All right, generate a spec for an agent for what? No, I'll read this once I'm done. Sorry. The agent will populate the center tool with new generate a spec code for an AI agent application. It'd be so sick if I could make it bioinformatics themed on top of that. God, I just can't think of a way to conceptualize that exactly. Oh, well, let me just write it and see what ChatGPT does. Um, oh man. Okay, this is the script that I'm going to pass to it because I want to take a break soon. Generate a specific spec for an AI agent web application using the Google Agent SDK and Python, where bioinformatics research lab is simulated. The lab will start out empty, and the users will be able to populate the lab with scientists to represent agents and tools that represent lab equipment. I would like for the UI to be similar to the attached Pokemon image. The scientists will be able to walk around the lab and interact with each other, exchange information, socialize, debate, etc. Tools that are added to the environment will be able to be used by the scientist in meaningful ways. Example, good research, the Google research tool to be visually represented by a computer. The player will act as the CEO of the lab, and they'll be able to assign tasks to the agent scientists within the simulation. Spec will be provided the cursor IDE. I just added some details about um, some other stuff. I'm also going to use, oh no, O5 can't, no, I'm using O3. Yes, O3. Hopefully it doesn't crash. O3's been crashing on me before. Um, one wouldn't handle attachments well. Right, so I also added, please be as thorough as possible and added any missing details that you think would make the application more interesting. How far back is this? So my OBS, it says, oh, has the voice been off? I'm seeing that it says shows voice. Did I fuck that up again? Do sound. This one, sound on this one. Oh, voice input for the app. I think it might have been what VB meant. Um, let's see. All right, this sounds like a fascinating application. Before I get generated on a full scale for preferred simulation, preferred platform. Uh, so if you didn't know, deep research asks you a couple of questions before it starts. It does that with the Google one too. Um, output goals. Scientists should. All right. So I want the agents to be fully autonomous. It asked me a couple of questions. It asked me what the preferred platform would be. I said a web application. It asked me what graphics I would like. I said Google. Nah, I said pixel art, similar to the Pokemon image that I attached. The agent framework. I don't know if it asked the exact correct question since it's so new. Uh, and then the core abilities of the scientist. They should be. I said the scientist should be autonomous. In the output goals, I want the scientists to be able to output, yeah, something. And I'm gonna say additionally, I want the spec. Okay. And I said additionally, I want the spec to include instructions for simple bioinformatics tools. Let's see. Oh yeah, I'm still alive. I didn't think I was. All right. While I wait for this to happen, since it makes no difference to anybody, I'm gonna take a break. Oh, you can only take a break for 5 minutes? That's lame. All right, I'm gonna get offline then. Then I might get back on again later. Sorry for the second viewer that just got here. All right, be back later. Sorry.